Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 244 live. And away we go.
So get a shot, what? Is that the message you got? We about to go live, are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my dawn. I'm a Ramon Winter. Rick Flair, Nature Boy, about to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 244 of A Shot of Wrestling. I am your host at Michael J. Putty, live Sunday night, right off the Elimination Chamber, our 5th year anniversary. Joining me tonight, as always, Mark Schwann. Mark, what a pay-per-view that was.
Dude, a lot of twists and turns there, a lot of surprises, man. Things I think were going to go down, and pretty impressive overall. I give the show a B-.
B-?
Higher than I think.
Really?
Higher than I thought I would originally give it. Yeah. What about you?
I give it like a B+. I thought it was a solid,
B+? All right.
solid show beginning to end.
Okay. All right. So, we're kind of around the same area. We're not too far off.
What didn't you like? What made you go to the minus territory? Like,
I mean, honestly, for me, man, like I was really curious. I was watching the pre-show, right? And they were kind of hyping up the Asuka match, talking about, so maybe it's going to be like a mystery opponent, like who's going to face Asuka tonight, blah, 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 with Lacey Evans being pregnant and all. And, then there was like nothing. But then I was just like, the Raw Elimination Chamber is going on. They didn't necessarily announce it as a main event. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, well, this is pretty early. Well, is there another match after this? Like, what am I missing? I was like, oh, wait, Asuka didn't go on yet. So is she main eventing? Then I'm like thinking, all right, well, who would she main event against? It's got to be someone that's like a return or something, or maybe a big debut. So I was getting pretty hyped up for that, and I just felt let down. That's one reason why it's a B-.
Were they hyping up Asuka on the pre-show? I didn't watch the pre-show. I missed the pre-show.
Yeah, they were.
Really?
They were. They were hyping up. Yeah.
Because I read once the Raw, not the Raw, the first one, the SmackDown was going on, Chamber. I read somewhere that they're still planning on doing the women's chamber match, Raw Women's Championship match, but I guess not. I guess they couldn't find somebody. Maybe they had somebody in mind they couldn't make it to the event in time or something. I don't know. They can easily squeeze anybody in there.
You tell me there was match. There was no woman in the back. Asuka maybe cuts a promo and someone come out and interrupts her, like maybe Peyton Royce, maybe even Lana. I don't know. Someone
would have to be a heel. Any heel? I don't know who the heels are on the women's side right now because Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler are dominating. Maybe even freaking the great way to introduce what's her name, your girl, NXT.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, I mean, dude, I actually.
Well, then she would have to win though. She would have to win though.
True. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what Asuka's direction is at this point for WrestleMania because the whole time I've been pitching for Charlotte to be it. I don't necessarily see that being the case anymore. I have no idea where they're going. Did Lacey Evans really throw a big wrench into plans there? No clue.
I don't think you're alone in that, Mark. I don't think anybody has a clue what's going on.
Yeah. No.
I think they're still trying to figure out how to go along.
Seems like they don't. But, man, Miz is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, man. Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about the whole show about that? Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do this. Fantastic. Oh, man. I thought I marked out as hardcore as I did when he won the first time. And I was getting ready for the show, trying to make sure everything was connected. I wasn't really paying too much attention. I heard Bobby Lashley come out. I'm like, uh-oh. Some shit's going down, Mark. And then my full attention wasn't attached to this. I didn't think he was going to do it. And then I hear the 1, 2, 3 in his music. I'm like, oh, shit. Now I got something to talk about. I am hyped. I didn't need that energy drink, Mark. That's already hyped up already. The Miz, 2-time
I'm not gonna
WWE champion.
I'm not gonna lie. I really did think Drew McIntyre was going to kick out the skull crushing finale. I thought somehow, some way, Drew McIntyre was going to pull it off because how many times have we seen this guy take a beating and come back time and time and time again? I was like, there's no way he's going to lose to the Miz. Yeah, I know Bobby Lashley gave him the whooping of a lifetime, but goddamn, Miz did it. He did it, and it just opens up so many questions. Though, what now? What now for WrestleMania? Is Miz going to go into WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion?
He has to. If he loses at Fastlane, then what the fuck was the point of this? You bring up a great point there with that. But then also, what is this working relationship with her business? Did he pay them off? Did he guarantee Bobby Lashley a title shot? Is this going to be like a new faction? What is happening here? What does it mean for John Morrison if that's the case? I don't think it's a new faction. I think he's a hired gun. The MVP is a master manipulator. He's a good negotiator. I'm assuming he worked out a deal. But like you said, Bobby Lashley is now going to be the number one contender. He has a first chance at Miz's title shot, which why would you do that? Bobby Lashley's unstoppable right now. I think he's doing the best work he's done in a long time. I know he had a great career, shined over during his time in Impact /TNA, whatever the time span was. I think right now the Bobby Lashley we are seeing, I was very surprised during the summer to say this on the show, but right now I think Bobby Lashley is the apex right now. The best I've ever seen him. Shape-wise, he's not good on the mic, and he team up with MVP, one of the best guys on the mic in that business. Marriage made in heaven, bro.
It really is. Well said. It is a marriage made in heaven for both of them. At this point, Bobby Lashley's been talking about this match ever since he came back to WWE, and I had zero interest in it about Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Now, man, I want to see that match happen because I would believe this because Bobby Lashley is versus Brock Lesnar. I would love to see it. I would love to see it because Bobby Lashley was just like. I don't know what it was when he came back to WWE. It just was very lackluster, right? And, Brock Lesnar he's a main event. Now Bobby Lashley is looking more and more like a main eventer. Now you put MVP in the fold. It's fucking great.
Now Impact's doing this new thing.
Point I'd like to see happen.
Impact's doing this new thing now. It's where Tuesday afternoons, around 3:00, I think it is, they air an old pay-per-view of theirs. And
right.
Last couple weeks has been end of 2009. This past week was 2010. And one of those, I don't know which week it was. I don't know what show it was. There was a match between Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, and it was awesome.
Oh, wow.
So that match I would not mind seeing at here in the WWE. But
WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think it's a WrestleMania worth the match. I'd rather see that than The Miz versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't scream WrestleMania to me. I had a feeling, Miz would win when he cashes in. I just didn't necessarily think it would happen before WrestleMania. I don't necessarily know if I like it or if I'm hating it or what. I'm happy for the Miz. Don't get me wrong, but it's just
well deserved, long overdue, well deserved.
But we're heading into WrestleMania 37, first time back live with fans in a year. This is it. You better tell one hell of a story. You better put on one hell of a match too.
Well, if you think about it, Roman Reigns is right. Drew McIntyre was option B. Drew McIntyre wasn't going to main event WrestleMania over Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to be the main event of that show.
But you're trying to build Drew McIntyre to be this guy because they want to build multiple stars. It's not just going to be the one star show like it used to be. So you want to build multiple stars there. Drew McIntyre does have it all. He checks every single box you want in a main eventer. I would understand if they went this route after WrestleMania. If they did some point over the summer before SummerSlam, completely would get it. That makes sense. Going to WrestleMania though, not so much.
I mentioned this last time. Was it the Royal Rumble? That when Miz cashed in, TLC, I think it was. Miz is not seen as a legit serious competitor. He's seen as a joke. He's a comedy act. He's not taken seriously. So I'm surprised not only did he try to cash in, but that he won. I figured they'd give him some time. Like I said, over the summer when the fans are back, maybe. Because he had a whole year. But now you're putting this company on the back of The Miz for the next 2 months. This show is looking more questions than answers. Usually, this is the first big stop on the road to WrestleMania. Usually, we have some sort of answers going into it. Now, there's more questions than answers this time. And
a lot of questions.
So what the hell's going on?
Which could be a good thing. It could be a good thing, but I don't understand if this is a question or a head scratcher. Two different things.
All right, what's the difference?
Head scratcher's like, they really doing that? And question's like, okay, this is thought provoking. Okay, those are two different things.
So which one is this?
I feel like this is kind of a head scratcher.
Okay,
I feel like it kind of is a head scratcher. Again, fan of The Miz. I like The Miz. Happy for him. At the same time, I'm just disappointed in the timing of this.
You're disappointed. You don't think anything good can come from this, though? Like, I'm optimistic here. I think this is going to be. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night, to see what happens.
Oh, listen, I am all in. I think I said this to you before when we tried doing this live before.
Yeah,
I am going to be invested to see where the storyline is going to go. If they could tell a good story with this, then fucking fantastic. Let's go. I'm ready to rock. But if it's just going to be a patch piece meal that you're going to put together,
that's what I'm saying. He can't lose a payback pace Fastlane, what it's called.
Yes, Fastlane.
He has to hold on to WrestleMania. Now, does this lead into maybe a triple threat? Does Bobby Lashley get involved here? Will it be Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, The Miz? Could it be like some sort of gimmick match, or maybe a multi-man match?
Could be. Get some more people in there. I mean, Bobby Lashley, he's got a lot of momentum. He also did not lose clean to Matt Riddle. We'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in a little bit.
Yeah.
But, Bobby Lashley is being pushed very strong the last few weeks, the last couple months.
Yeah. Since the summer, I think he's catapulted.
So, I don't think it would be completely unrealistic for him to be in that title picture, especially WrestleMania time. He decimated Drew McIntyre.
The Miz, absolutely. The Miz, absolutely. Totally. The Miz totally does.
No, Bobby Lashley completely destroyed Drew McIntyre, and it looked believable. It looked legit.
Yeah, because their builds are similar. I believe Bobby Lashley could destroy Drew McIntyre. I wholeheartedly believe that. If this was what company did he work for? Bellator? If they were the Bellator cage match, I would believe that Drew McIntyre would get his ass beat by Bobby Lashley.
But let's talk a little bit more about that Raw Chamber match in general. Randy Orton was eliminated first.
Clean.
I
was expecting something with the Fiend. I know they did that on Monday Night Raw with Alexa Bliss teasing her lights out thing that she did. But I wholeheartedly expect to see something with the Fiend to head up their WrestleMania match.
There's so many things they could have done inside the chamber, like with like either Alexa Bliss or maybe with the return of the Fiend, or at least a tease of it. But there was absolutely nothing. Even after like he got pinned and it started doing RKOs all around, I was still expecting maybe something.
I think they did this before, but how cool would it be that the lights go out and you see the Fiend inside the chamber? How did he get in there? It was locked. You can't even come up under the ring. The chamber blocks that from. How did he get in there? That would have been like an astonishing moment, especially now everything's pre-recorded. They could tape that ahead of time.
Or maybe even Alexa Bliss just like sitting on top of one of the pods. Just like laughing. Something, man. Give us something. You build this storyline for so long. To have a pay-per-view, one of the pay-per-views right before WrestleMania, you're doing nothing with it. I thought that was a missed opportunity there to do something cool and memorable inside the chamber.
Again, no disrespect to Fastlane, but who cares about Fastlane? This is the biggest stop.
No one gives a fuck about Fastlane. I'm actually pissed off Fastlane's happening.
This is the biggest stop on the road to WrestleMania. You figure this is where you set everything up, I talked about earlier. So something should have happened here. But no, he lost first one out clean.
Right.
That was what they called. What did you call it like 5 minutes ago? A head scratcher?
Head scratcher. That's a head scratcher for sure. I think we figured out the name of the show, by the way.
Yeah. It's also always interesting to see, especially chamber matches, what new spots people can do. What new things have I not seen before people will do?
Right, like AJ Styles.
Yeah, how about almost?
That was something new.
Yeah,
I've not seen AJ Styles. That was a cool moment.
Fuck that. I'm not waiting for my timer to come in. I'm coming in my own damn time.
Right.
When both men are down, let me 2 men at once. And I thought that was awesome.
That was mad cool. I dig it because you're right. A match like this because at this point, this match has been around for almost 20 years.
Almost.
And,
holy shit! Yeah.
And you get to the point. It's like, man, have I seen it all? Have I seen it all be done in this chamber? No, we haven't, because these guys are super creative. And girls, unfortunately, there was no women elimination chamber this year, but they're all super creative. They all find like a new spot, a memorable moment to do. Hell, even Cesaro doing pull-ups in the chamber at the very top. That was new. That was cool.
Randy Orton only lasted 9 minutes in that chamber. By the way, let's look at the time. That's amazing.
That was the biggest surprise, I think, to see that. Well, one of the biggest surprises. Randy Orton to get. I actually thought it was a botch.
Oh yeah,
when the 3 count happened, I really thought it was a botch. But no, that seemed legit, man. That's fucking wild. Can we talk about Sheamus though? Sheamus, he's performing a whole other level, man. I know you're not a fan of him. I haven't always been the biggest supporter of Sheamus. He's sometimes hit or miss. He's really hitting it lately.
Fuck Sheamus. I hate Sheamus. We and him go way back, almost 10 years now this year. We got beef. We don't see eye to eye. We hate each other. Whatever. It's a story.
I'm waiting for that match. I
would destroy him.
You hear that, Sheamus? I'm going to tag you in this.
I would destroy Sheamus inside the ring. Iron Man match. WWE 2K24.
Iron Man match. 2 minutes. Got it.
I mean, 2 minutes is a long time. That's my ex-girlfriend. But anyway, yeah, I mean, but Sheamus has really been amazing the last couple of weeks, especially this whole feud. Actually, like once. The tweener thing was going on. Is Drew McIntyre's best friend? Was he going to turn on him? What was going on here? So right now, I think Sheamus, I hate to say it, is doing pretty good work right now.
I thought he was the MVP of that chamber match. Actually, I thought
really?
I thought he looked legit. He had the fire in his eyes. He was on a whole different level than I've ever seen him.
And the chamber entrances started, I think, a little past 8:30, maybe 8:45-ish.
Yeah.
That chamber is only 31 minutes long. I expected to go at least an hour. I think we texted like this. You texted me, is this the main event? I'm like, yeah, but we got like 45, 50 minutes. No, it's only half hour. That's really quick for chamber matches, no?
No, it's pretty quick. They sped up the entrances too.
Especially
for the first chamber match, those entrances were taking forever. My wife looked at me and said, "They still haven't wrestled yet?" I'm like, no. And now we have a video package in between all this. I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
And it did feel kind of long because Randy Orton got eliminated 9 minutes in. The next elimination didn't happen until 23 minutes.
Right.
So there's a long gap of eliminations there. Maybe that's why I felt longer. I was like, holy shit, this is ending now? What time is it? It was surprised.
I have to say this spot of that match, that Claymore kick out of nowhere in midair against AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
It was pretty fucking cool.
No Lexan pods were destroyed this time. Usually it's always one gets crashed through one of those pods.
Yeah, but as we said before, I mean, we've seen that time and time again. Like, yeah, I was
every time
it happened, but like, yeah, but like, I'm actually kind of glad it didn't happen. We did see some cool spots. I mean, like, if you want to go back to the first chamber match,
you want to start over again? You want to start from the first chamber match now? Yeah, please talk about this one. I thought it was really good.
I thought that was actually the match of the night. Cesaro, that spot where he was doing like the doing his swing against the chamber with Jey Uso. Man.
And you can see his head bounced off, not the chain link, but the one of the poles.
The post.
Yeah.
You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard that shit, man.
It was a great match, man. Great
that really
match. Was. A lot of clever eliminations, too. It wasn't like a routine match. A lot of clever eliminations. It was well done. And I think Cesaro really stood out in this match. He did.
So did Jey Uso, I have to say. He had... I'm really digging his intensity. He's really showing his stuff as a singles competitor.
Mr. Main Event? Main Event, Jey Uso?
Mr. Main Event. It makes me wonder what's going to happen when Jimmy Uso comes back in the picture, because Jey Uso is really, really showing that he can do his own thing. And that door spot with Kevin Owens.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That was creative genius right there.
And it actually looked like his arm was totally in. Like, there's no space. There's no gap. It looked like his arm was literally being crushed by that door. That was another cool spot.
And like, how many super kicks? 2, 3? Followed by the splash? That was a great moment, man. That was a cool moment for Jey Uso, and I was shocked to see Kevin Owens go like so early. Well, not just so early, but earlier than most.
No, I expected Kevin Owens to be like, if he wasn't going to win, he would last a long time.
I thought he was going to win.
But when I saw him get not only his arm stalked, but like 3 super kicks in the head, I'm like, I'll be okay with him going out here. This is well done. He can't kick out of this. If he kicks out of this, that would just take any credibility away from Jey Uso here. I thought that was a good spot for him, and okay, awesome. Maybe it's going to be Jey Uso, Kevin Owens WrestleMania.
Could be. I was actually just thinking about that as we were talking. Can we just say it's Kevin Owens' first Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
I was surprised about that. I was like, what? Really?
So I was watching that Chamber match, and I was all getting ready and psyched, taking notes about how the MVP of this Chamber, what an outing, what a great performance by King Corbin was, and then he gets eliminated like right away. I'm like, ugh. I thought this might be his coming out party. I thought this, because I'm a big fan of King Corbin, Baron Corbin.
I know you are, and I just don't get it, man. I'm bored by him.
Yeah, a lot of people are. It's not his fault. It's just like you're a baseball fan, right? You like baseball?
No, I'm not a baseball fan, but I
find
that boring.
He's a typical utility player. You can insert him anywhere, and he excels. And I figure he's been kind of floundering now. The king gimmick kind of falling flat now. It's over. It's done.
That's a great point. It is over. It's done. They need to expand on that now.
He did what he had to do with the Mysterios. Okay, we need time to move on. I thought this is him moving on, coming out, dominate this Chamber, show what you can do, and go on to a great WrestleMania match, and then he gets eliminated.
Honestly, I don't think Corbin
23 minutes in. 23 minutes in. It's not too bad.
I just don't think he's got that next level in him. I really don't.
I think it's there.
I don't see it. I don't see it. How long has he been WWE right now? I've never seen flashes of it. Even he's okay in the big card. He's okay with what he does. But I don't necessarily see him being like. I don't necessarily see him being a WWE champion. I don't see him having a World Heavyweight Championship at all. Maybe a shot, but I don't necessarily see him carrying a strap. I don't see him carrying a strap at all. That's one dude I just do not see.
They said the same thing about The Miz, though. I think Baron Corbin's got it.
But here's the thing, though. The Baron Corbin is better gifted inside the ring than The Miz was. But the difference is, The Miz always had charisma. Baron Corbin has no charisma. He's boring.
Okay, that's fine. I'm waiting for this King gimmick to be over with, and see what the next chapter of his career is. I think he could be something down the road.
And listen. It's not me being a hater. I actually hope that he does break that next barrier. That he finds it somewhere within him to take that next step, because it has happened before with wrestlers in WWE. Like they've been in the mid card for a long time. All of a sudden they snap, and you just see them perform to the next level. I mean, look at Kofi Kingston a couple of years ago. I mean, I hope that happens for Baron Corbin. I really do. But
he deserves it. I think
as of right now, he doesn't deserve it. As of right now, he has done nothing to deserve it.
He was Superstar of the Year 2 years ago. This guy is a workhorse. Whatever you want him to do, he does. And the thing is, he is on TV every week. He's in our face.
So what? Everyone is. But what stands out about him to you? What makes you so entertained? What brings?
I think he's good in the ring. I like watching him wrestle.
And what else, though? What else does he have? Because there's a lot of people good in the ring. Ricochet's good in the ring. But I don't want to see him main event.
No. He has a look. I just think the character needs to work.
He definitely needs, honestly, all right, I'm going to go into this.
I think the
Baron
character
Corbin needs to hit the gym a little bit more. He's a little flabby. He's a little flabby.
Can you say the same thing about Kevin Owens then?
Kevin Owens, it works for him. Baron Corbin.
Because when he was the lone wolf back in NXT.
Baron Corbin was in better shape.
When he came back in NXT, when he first debuted on the main roster, he was wearing a tank top, right? And I think you should go back to that, though. I see what you're saying. People make fun of his stomach. They think there's a face on his stomach. I'm not going to be a bully. I'm not going to join this conversation, put down my man, King Corbin. But yeah, maybe cover up a little bit. But I think he has everything in place. He just needs that extra, maybe because his promos aren't that bad. Like you said, sometimes they can be a little boring. He needs a character. This King thing has run its course, Give him a new character. I was kind of excited to see this Knights of the Lone Wolf thing, or different dimension to this, but then that faded away. I'm waiting for this to fade out, get a new character for Baron Corbin, go back to his cool ass theme song, and maybe see what happens. I think it is there, but there is, like you said, there is something missing. But I think
there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot missing. I feel like he needs to clean up his look. Maybe he's just not taking it seriously. Maybe he's just coasting. That could be very well be the case too.
I think he's you see him on TV every week. So he always seemed like I'm down for whatever. Give me whatever.
So are a lot of people on TV every week, Putty.
Who?
That doesn't mean shit.
Ricochet's on TV every week. Hell, fucking Retribution's on TV every week. The main event guys, the guys Vince likes, the main event players are on TV every week in and week out. The other guys need to fight for their spot. But yet, somehow, some way, Baron Corbin is on my TV every week. So is
Dominic Mysterio.
No, he's not. I saw him on SmackDown this past week for the first time.
TV every week.
No, he's not. I haven't seen him in like 2-3 weeks before he came on Raw this week.
I'm just saying, man, Baron Corbin, he is consistently just like bland. He's just like right there. He does enough to get on TV and to not get kicked off or whatever. Well, he just does enough. He just skates on by. Is that what you like?
We disagree.
If that's what you like, that's cool.
And often when we disagree, I'm proving right. I'm proving right.
Some people like vanilla ice cream as well. I mean, that's great.
Vanilla ice cream delicious.
I want a little bit something more.
When we disagree, I'm often proven right. So once again, sit back, relax, and wait for Baron Corbin to blow up in a couple of years.
Again, I hope he does. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, you usually are. But you usually are. So I can't wait.
So far nothing. But going on here into that first match, the Elimination Chamber, Daniel Bryan for the win.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
You saw that coming? I actually didn't see it.
I saw Kevin Owens winning. And I was thinking, that's kind of too many times, but I could see it happening. Yeah, but then my next pick was Daniel Bryan. Again, another short chamber match. It's only 34 minutes long. Another short.
That chamber match seemed longer than that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe it was the entrances. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But then that leads us to Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan.
Now, was that match supposed to happen? I thought it was supposed to, but then going on to the rules Chiron they had going on, I thought it said later tonight or sometime tonight. And I thought on SmackDown they said at the end of the night. I expected it, but then I thought they kind of threw me for a loop. It was going to happen right away. I mean, it had to happen right away. It had to happen right away.
I thought that was great heat for Roman Reigns. Yeah. It goes to show like this is his show. He's the main event. He can do whatever he wants. Yes, they advertised for later on in the night. Roman Reigns is like, fuck that. This match is happening now.
It had to happen right away. You can't let Daniel Bryan get his breath or whoever had won. It was well done. It was perfect placement.
And then as soon as that happened, though, I was like, there has to be more purpose to this. We just had, otherwise, we just had that awesome Elimination Chamber match for nothing, just to have like a squash match. So it made me think like something else has to happen here. And then boom, as soon as Roman Reigns turns around, Edge right there for that spear. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So that match is official now. All speculation is gone about what could be or what might be. It's definitely set in stone. Edge versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania. Putty, what do you think?
Okay. Awesome. Expected it to happen. I wasn't in your world, in your camp, or like, oh, maybe he'll go for NXT. Maybe it'll be a swerve. No, I figured this is going to be the match. I had a problem with my cable this week. So I had to call the cable guy to come. And he's a wrestling fan. So we started talking about wrestling. He goes, what, Edge, huh? I'm like, yeah, Edge Roman Reigns. Can't wait to see that WrestleMania. He goes, oh, he decided already? Like, no, yeah, that's what they're thinking. Like, it's weird to talk to somebody who doesn't follow what we follow.
I want to be that person, though. I miss being that person.
Yeah, it does miss it sometimes, yeah. But now, I'm expecting Edge to lose here. Does that hurt Edge's comeback?
No, I don't think it does.
Where's Edge go from here?
I think it gives Roman Reigns more heat, if anything, which he needs.
More credibility.
Especially when the live crowd comes back. Roman Reigns is doing such a good job as a heel that he might start getting cheered. Yeah, how often have we seen that? Like, yeah, when a heel does such a good job, they start getting cheered. And what better way to keep the heat on him if you just cut the great comeback story for Edge winning the championship early?
James in the chat room thinks Edge might go over Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You think there's any possibility of Edge going over here?
mean, there's always the possibility, man. I mean, hell, I kind of wanted to see it too, just for a nostalgia purposes, and I'm a sucker for a good comeback.
What a great way to cap off that story you were talking about. You were talking about the Rumble, right?
I'm sorry?
What a great way to cap off that story you were talking about at the Rumble.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that'd be great. I think that would be great. I think there are a lot of people out there that seem to disagree with that.
Abel, Green Man, clock off.
A friend of mine from high school was texting me the same thing before. So talking about like how he's so over edge, blah, blah, blah. There's a garbage match, garbage storyline. Man, dude, people have no heart. Like, I am so invested into this, man. Like, I love a good comeback story. It's not, and you can also tell Edge is super into it. Edge is super into it. It's not like he's not like any of those other part timers, obviously there for a paycheck. Like, Edge is like totally invested into this.
Yeah, totally. I'm happy to see him back. He's one of the greatest of all time. One of my favorites.
1,000%.
And he's not, like we talked about it with Green Man at the Royal Rumble. He's not here being a part timer. He's full time vested into this. Let me do this. Let me get going.
Yeah.
He's not a Goldberg where he's coming for a paycheck and leaving.
Right. That's such a huge difference. And the fact is that Edge is also in shape. He's keeping himself well oiled, and he's doing it all in the ring. He's taking the bumps. He's putting on good spots. He's cutting hell of a promos, man. Like, this is the best promo work I've ever seen him do. And he was never a bad promo. But no, I'm excited for this, man. I think whatever happens at WrestleMania, whether Roman Reigns wins or whether Edge wins, I think we're in for a treat here. I think it's going to be a solid match. It could be match of the night, but it's definitely going to be a storyline that I'm going to be super interested in. Because one thing I noticed, SmackDown, Roman Reigns whispered something at Edge's ear.
Yeah, that was cool.
And you notice tonight when Edge speared Roman Reigns, he whispered something back.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, Edge whispered something back in Roman Reigns' ear.
Okay.
So now it makes me wonder, what the fuck are they saying to each other? Obviously, Roman Reigns said something enough to make Edge choose this. What's up?
Also find it interesting that last year it was Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, and they built it as spear versus spear.
Yeah.
Now it's the same thing.
Except better.
No spear versus spear match. Because he sold the shit out of that spear, man, Roman Reigns.
Oh,
he sold it very well. I'm like,
he is so good. Let me tell you, that Roman Reigns guy, man, he's got a bright future. He just came out of nowhere.
Text from area code 917. If Green Man's listening, he'll be happy to hear this. He also agrees, and your friends too. He doesn't want to see Edge in the main event. He thinks his time has passed.
Why is it that people think his time has passed, dude? I would understand, like, you know, maybe if like it was like a wrestler that just like overstayed their welcome, that was consistently going and starting to get battered down and bruised. But maybe someone like The Undertaker. As much as I love The Undertaker, I mean, he was heading that point. But Edge, his career was cut short. His career was taken away from him from an injury. Yeah. He retired in his prime, and then thank God to the evolution of science and technology, you know, he's able to recover, and here he is today. You know, I don't necessarily see a man that overstayed his welcome. I see a man who's coming back, probably better than when he left in certain ways.
And who would have thought? Because he left as champion, imagine, and now he's even better than he was back then.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, just because he's playing smarter. He psychologically, like he understands the game, kind of like a Jake the Snake Roberts level.
Mm-hmm. Never thought about the comparison before. That makes sense.
Yeah, so like that's why I think, to me at least, he's performing at a different level better. I kind of like Randy Orton as well. Randy Orton is playing a psychological game as well right now, and I think that's why we're seeing him, like, you know, for the past year, pretty much the guy on Monday Night Raw.
Text me here, code 619. Where's my pizza? Wrong number. Never mind. Anyway, moving on to the next match, a triple threat for the United States Championship. Matt Riddle versus John Morrison. Again, Bobby Lashley.
What happened to Keith Lee? Like, for real?
Injured.
Like, it's a legit injury then?
Yeah, he was pulled this morning from injury. They didn't say what the injury was. Last time I checked, they didn't say what the injury was.
This dude can't catch a break.
No. And you got to start worrying about Vince souring on him.
I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him.
He was one of those guys that went to the big man camp, and now we haven't seen much of him since. So I don't know what you got to be careful about losing, the favor of the power that be.
Lee is losing steam. Like, it is kind of like similar to sports. You're getting a spot and you get injured, and then someone else takes your spot, and like that's it.
Yep.
Or look at the case of Sam Darnold. You get labeled as injury prone. And there's a lot of questions. Do we want to deal with this?
I remember that match. It was Sin Cara versus somebody, and he jumped up to the outside, and he hurt his hand, and he called for a referee to stop the match because he hurt his hand.
Yeah,
I remember that. That's not how you do business,
right?
So it's like like I said, you got to be careful here. I was happy John Morrison won, great spot for him, but damn, Keith Lee, who knows? I was high in Keith Lee too. A lot of people were. See what happens.
I know a lot of people are very disappointed. I don't know, man. Like I hope they're not going to give up on him, because Keith Lee is a very solid performer, at least from what I saw in NXT. But
do you like his promos?
They're a little different. I don't necessarily know. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
I thought they were good in NXT, but now on the main roster, somehow there's some disconnect. Now I can't explain it.
I honestly know. I don't know if he's like very comfortable there in the main roster. It doesn't seem like he's able to get that footing right.
Well, he keeps getting hurt, so who knows?
Getting hurt and getting buried in stories. It's not working out for Keith Lee over there. And I'm worried about Damian Priest right now, because his big spot right now is being teamed with Bad Bunny, essentially against Miz and John Morrison. Although I don't know now.
That's right.
I don't know about that.
I don't think about that either. That was the match.
That's supposed to be the match, right?
That's going to be a Fastlane match now.
Oh God!
But I'm not too worried about that. Damian Priest, I'm very high on. He was high on my list. The ones to watch the last 2 years. I think he's going to be a good spot. What a great spot to be in than a big celebrity match where all eyes are going to be on him. Everyone's talking about Bad Bunny now. Apparently, he's the number one merch seller on the shop.
Apparently,
so it's not a bad spot for him. Where he goes from here, that we got to be careful about.
Very true. Very true. But going back to the United States Championship match, again, talking about Bobby Lashley, man. Bobby Lashley was a star in that match, honestly.
Yeah, of course.
There was my same friend that was texting me was aggravated the fact that Riddle pinned Morrison for the win to get the United States Championship.
He didn't like that?
He didn't like that. I was just like, well,
what do you want?
I think I thought it was done for two reasons. I originally at that time I thought was, all right, well, obviously they're going to keep the Bobby Lashley, Matt Riddle feud going, right?
Yeah.
And then B, you got to keep Bobby Lashley looking strong.
Yeah, that was the whole point. I was surprised they made it a triple threat again. But then I realized when I saw John Morrison get pinned, that's right, because you need somebody for him to pin, because he can't pin Bobby Lashley.
No. But now it's looking like maybe Bobby Lashley might be in the world title picture. So that makes more sense for why Bobby Lashley dropped the belt the way he did.
Yeah, there's no other way. He had to lose that match. He had to be not the one who pinned, I should say.
Right.
If you're going to lose the title, he's not going to get pinned for it.
But Lashley looked great in it, man. He really did. He was a star in that. I know Riddle wound up winning, but honestly, I'm not a Riddle guy. I don't think I'm a Riddle guy. I'm just not a Riddle guy. Do you have anything else in that match? People are able to talk about how he wished Riddle won the Royal Rumble. So I don't know. I guess he's a Matt Riddle guy.
Oh, jeez. I don't know anybody who's high on Matt Riddle except Vince McMahon, because he thinks he's funny.
Matt Riddle's high on himself. I don't know.
Yeah, literally. Next up, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
That was kind of a shit show. Not going to lie.
Yeah, no surprise here. Really?
There was no chemistry amongst anyone.
Bobby Lashley, the triple threat United States Championship, went 8 minutes 40 seconds. This tag team match went 9 minutes 35 seconds.
Did it really? Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't know too much about chemistry, but it's just I don't care about this.
No, here's the thing. I was watching this, right?
I was watching it. I'm like, okay, I like Sasha Banks, I like Bianca Belair, but I'm like, I'm not buying this. Oh, I'm not.
I wasn't buying anything. There was zero chemistry amongst anyone in there. I've never bought Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as a tag team. I feel like there's a disconnect there on that as well. But seeing Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair together too, I didn't see the chemistry like I thought I would there.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me concerned about that WrestleMania match coming up. Like, are they going to have chemistry problems?
I don't think so. And there's a difference one-on-one as opposed to being a tag team, no? Because there was a couple of mistimed spots I noticed. I'm like, oh, okay, this match, like, but I'm happy that I was right again, like I usually am. Last week I talked about I want to see Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, something we're not seeing on other shows. And this past week we saw them on NXT, we saw them on SmackDown, so I'm happy that at least somewhat evolving and going into the different shows.
I have a feeling they're going to drop the straps to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And we may even lead to see those two at WrestleMania, which I'd be stoked about.
Again, I think you have to.
Right?
Because I think if they lose, that kills the momentum that you put in Raquel Gonzalez. You've been pushing her to the moon. You put a rocket ship on her back, and now she's going to lose. I'm like, oh, okay. That might hurt her more than it would.
Right.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Because if anything, I mean, they have so much more momentum. I mean, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are just like kind of like there.
Yeah.
They really aren't doing anything. Again, kind of like Baron Corbin. They just kind of just there.
Imagine seeing Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai in all three shows. Again, we talked about last week. There's more teams on NXT for them to defend against.
That would be sick. And again, I mean, going back to the whole WrestleMania part, like I would love to see both of them on WrestleMania. I think that'd be really cool to see them defend it on that type of stage.
Maybe like a triple threat of one team from Raw, one team from SmackDown.
Hell yeah!
There's something to do there.
You're onto something there. You're onto something.
Usually I am, my friend. Usually I am. But I think they have to win it. We'll find out in 2 weeks, but I think Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai have to win this championship.
Going back to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair real fast. Do you get like do you just get a feeling that we're going to see the old Sasha Banks soon? We're going to see like the boss.
I thought she was going to turn heel. I thought she was going to turn heel tonight.
So you're feeling that too? She's going to turn.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to fully turn, but there was a spot. There's a moment, or maybe two tonight. I'm like, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't happen. So I don't know. Maybe they're teasing it. Because, again, it is face versus face. More often than not, they don't like to do that. So maybe Sasha Banks turns heel, and when Bianca Belair wins it, gets more fans behind her at WrestleMania.
Right. Which I'd be all for. Hell, maybe it happens. Maybe it happens actually at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think she had to win at WrestleMania.
No, I'm saying like maybe Sasha Banks
turns
heel at WrestleMania.
Maybe she loses, and then there's turns on her, much like Bayley did to her.
Could be.
She gets
I don't know, man. I think it's going to happen. Like, how many times, even like the talking smack moment when Paul Heyman was talking to Sasha Banks, talking about getting the old Sasha Banks back. Like, yeah, obviously they're saying this for a reason. And obviously tonight, the Carmella Sommelier, like giving like that. I have no idea either. Something's going on here. There's seeds are being planted here, buddy.
Definitely some seeds being planted.
So it makes me curious for that. But, going back to the chemistry thing again, like, I feel like my expectations are being tempered for that match. I'm expecting that to be like, a fucking fantastic match. I don't necessarily know anymore. I don't know.
One-on-one will be different than tag team. I think it's going to be much better than this match.
I hope so, man. The bar was set pretty high, and now I'm putting it back down a little bit.
Area code 516 thinks it's too soon for her to win this strap at Mania. You think it's too
Bianca
soon?
Belair?
She won the Royal Rumble.
Well, we talked about this before the Royal Rumble. Like we said about Bianca Belair, it might be a little too soon for her to win at WrestleMania. That we're thinking maybe SummerSlam would be more of a realistic thing for her, which would be good. It does feel a little bit forced, but hey, listen, I'm all for the ride. I'm a Bianca Belair fan.
Who isn't? I mean, I never heard a bad word about her.
No, there really isn't. There really isn't. I just hope that her winning the strap at WrestleMania doesn't hurt her more so long term than anything. That's what I hope.
I don't think so. Everyone loves her. She's great in the ring. She back it up. She has great character, great gimmick.
But here's the thing, though. People love people until they win the strap. And once they win the strap, they start hating.
They're fickle. Wrestling fans
they
are
really
fickle.
are fickle. They really are, man.
Look at Roman Reigns. Everyone loved Roman Reigns until he's won, and then they start turning on him. I don't see that happening with Bianca Belair.
Same thing was kind of happening with Becky Lynch.
No, it's the exact opposite. But she was a bad guy, and then people made her face with everything. They kept cheering the man.
Hey, no. But I'm saying, like, when she won the strap at WrestleMania, right, which became Becky 2 belts.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you started to see her stock starting to gradually decline.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening for Bianca Belair. I think it's going to work.
Here's the thing. People love the chase more than anything else. They love the chase. You know, but then once this is WWE's problem. Once the person accomplishes what they're chasing, they have nothing for them really anymore. Creatively, that's interesting enough. Hey, WWE, that's creative, I think, personally. I don't think that has anything to do with the stars. If it happened like once in a while, like, okay, it might be the person holding the belt's problem, but it happens time and time and time and time and time again, man. It's like something's up here.
Again, I just don't see it happening for Bianca Belair. I think if she's going to win, it's going to be all gravy for her.
I think they need to have her chase it a little bit more. That's just it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll
gain more support. To gain more of that support.
I think then
to really build her up to be that face of the women's division that they're trying to be.
Well, I think if you wait till SummerSlam, it's too long. People get bored and tired of it.
I don't think so, man. I don't think she had. I think around SummerSlam will be probably the right amount of time. WrestleMania might be a little too soon. We shall see. Again, I am rooting for Bianca Belair because I do want to see her succeed. I think she is truly the EST, or has potential to be. But yeah, just fans are fickle, as you said. I hope she's not going to fall victim to that.
Sharing.
I see you.
Sharing it real quick. Again, maybe hopefully get some interactions. Sure. Yeah. Overall, you said it was a B-, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much listed everything why I thought it was a B-. I mean, the chamber matches, of course, still a show. Like the in-between moments were just there.
Yeah.
You know, but
again, another pay-per-view. Last pay-per-view was the Royal Rumble. Bookend by great Rumbles. This pay-per-view bookended by great chamber matches. So they're producing the shows well. I think they're booking shows pretty well. The last couple of shows have been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they did manage to surprise me tonight. Even with the fact of Matt Riddle winning the U.S. Championship tonight, that was a shocker. So, like, anytime when you make me think like, oh wow, all right, that's where you're going, cool. I give him credit for that.
I kind of would like to see the John Morrison win here. I know it would make sense storyline since he was just injected, but how cool would it be Miz and Morrison co-champions? I think that would be fucking fantastic.
I think that would be obnoxious. That would be a little too much.
Exactly. Perfect. They're all obnoxious.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But now we got Fastlane next. Personally, I think that's just like one too many pay-per-views. You know, get more of a build for WrestleMania. Like, what's really going to happen at Fastlane?
I think the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, they weren't really championship matches. They were like number one contender matches. So I don't see too many championship matches going on. Maybe a tag team title, maybe a U.S. title or IC title.
Edge versus Jey Uso, maybe? Like, what's going to happen?
Maybe Big E versus something. Big E needs to get it. He wasn't here tonight. He needs to get his rub, his shine. We'll see what happens.
We shall see, buddy. We shall see.
Did you watch last weekend? Impact or NXT?
Not really. No.
Oh man, what great shows those were! We had Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai win the Dusty Cup. MSK win the Dusty Cup predictably. And then a great spot on NXT.
Yeah, we called that from the very beginning.
Yeah. He had a great spot on NXT with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler coming out. Then he had MSK in the background hanging out with Beth Phoenix, where popcorn comes out of nowhere. So last weekend was a good show, Steve. You had a chance to check out No Surrender and NXT Vengeance Day. Both shows are, if you want to watch wrestling, great shows, great cards, top to bottom.
So I've heard. I had a busy weekend that weekend, so I wasn't able to catch it up. But no, I was glad to see our predictions come true. And Adam Cole turning heel, I thought that was
cool.
That was fucking crazy. Yeah.
That was interesting. Where's that go?
Oh, so many different directions.
Yeah. That was cool.
A lot of heartbroken fans out there. And those are the moments you live for, man. You live for those moments because I don't think anyone really saw it coming.
No one saw it coming, and there's not too many shocking moments these days. Like tonight with The Miz. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see Adam Cole turning on NXT Vengeance Day either.
So that's what I love, man. Like I know there are a lot of people bitching about The Miz, whatnot, going back to Elimination Chamber tonight. But man, come on, you gotta live for these surprises. You know, what good is a show if you're able to predict it every way through? You know, that's not entertaining. That's nothing. You know, you want something to keep you on your toes, and WWE actually did a good job doing that tonight. So kudos to them.
Anybody on social media, is tag a shot of wrestling and find how the Miz girl reacted. She had to post something. The Miz girl, she had to post. I'm assuming she is. She's a teenage girl, right? She had to post something. You know, she posted something.
Now I'm curious.
Please don't tag us. I'm assuming it's with the same face. But yeah, Miz is world champion. It's just amazing, man. Fantastic, long overdue, well deserved, and I'm excited to see what happens. I hope he has a long run. I doubt it, but I would be surprised if he holds it to SummerSlam. I'll be surprised if he walks out of WrestleMania with it. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know which way they're going anymore. But I guess it brings us back to being a fan again and just enjoying the ride and see what happens, which I'm all for, man. I'm all for that.
You and me both, my friend. You and me both. But not only was it a great Elimination Chamber match, that's why we went live to talk about it right away instead of waiting a week. There's also our 5th anniversary mark. February 22nd, 2016. A Shot of Wrestling went live on Podbean. Our very first episode. Me and Green and I would hang out. We would talk, we would drink, and talk about wrestling and stuff. And one day he decided, why not record it? Let's do a podcast. So we did. Shot of Wrestling was born 5 years ago tomorrow, Mark. And it's been fantastic. It's been a wild ride. Me and Green Man were a great team for the first 2 years. We lasted 100 episodes. Then he had a kid. He went out and had a fucking kid, Mark. I don't recommend it. And then he had to leave to become a father, do his fatherly duties, yada, yada, yada. So I carried the show on my back for a year. Doing the show by myself. We had a rotating door of guest hosts. And then Eric Jaden, the Godfather, said, hey, what about my boy Mark? Why don't you get him on the show? I'm like, okay, we have a guest host opening. Let's do this. And you haven't left since.
Do you want me to leave?
Sometimes.
Do you want me to leave? Do you want to go back doing your show solo?
No, we tried that like an hour ago. It didn't work. So
it makes you realize, man, I actually do like Mark Shawn here.
So, 5 years is a big accomplishment. It's half a decade. There's a long list of people I need to thank. First and foremost, myself, the Iron Horse of the show, week in and week out, putting the show together, wasting my time editing.
The heart of Shot of Wrestling.
Putting the show together, missing so much stuff on Sundays to make it sound pretty. We used to post the show live, lots of tapes. And then realized we sound so drunk and we suck. Started editing it, cleaning up, make it crisper, make it cleaner. We got rid of the background music, got better equipment. And so first and foremost, I want to thank myself for all the hard work. Some blood, some sweat, some tears did go into the show. In 5 years, it definitely paid off with it. So here's to another 5 more. And secondly, end of list. Mark, any go-home thoughts for you?
Wow. End list. Okay. Well, you're welcome for all the work that I've done for this show too. Thank you for having speaking of like on Twitter, like on Shop Wrestling on there, like on Instagram, like on Facebook. You can like us all over the place, man. We expanded from just Podbean. We're on Spotify. Where are we in Pandora right now too?
No, Pandora. Our legal team's going through that. We aren't on Heart Radio. We're on Amazon Music,
iHeartRadio,
basically wherever you hear podcasts.
Google.
Yeah. We were surprised about Google. We didn't do anything for Google. We didn't do anything, and we're on there. So I don't know what's going on, but cheers.
5 years of going strong, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and I'm actually very happy to be part of this team. You guys, I keep on saying you were my saving grace during the pandemic because a lot of things I was doing was kind of shut down, but this was the sole thing that was keeping me going at one point. So thank you for that. And, I got to say, I know we don't see eye to eye in a lot of things, but I love you, buddy.
I love you too, bro.
I love you, man. You're a good man.
I try. I try my best. I do what I can. Maybe stay tuned for a spinoff of us talking about movies and your warped view on movies. I found out about this week.
Well, actually, but speaking of spinoffs, though, you're right. I mean, that was funny. But speaking of spinoffs, we legit do have a spinoff coming up.
See what I did there?
Shaw Wrestling in Espanol coming out, headed by Green Man.
I thought I was doing that.
Yeah, you speak Spanish? I had no idea.
Yo soy papas fritas en la biblioteca. Más o menos.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly. So keep an eye out for that. I know Abel's going to be running out the Instagram page shortly, if he hasn't already, actually. And he's going to be doing interviews with Lucha Libres, right?
Yes.
Luchadores.
Luchadores, they call it, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So
see, there goes my Spanish. I'm part Spanish. I can't speak a lick of it. So.
I'm better than you. It's weird. I'm the whitest guy you know. And but yeah, stay tuned for a Shot of Wrestling in Espanol, whatever that means in Spanish. I don't know.
Shot Wrestling in Spanish.
Once it's all set up, we will tell you where you can find to listen to it or subscribe to it. But that should be interesting. If you speak Spanish, I don't. But I think the Spanish music, I listened to Bad Bunny on the Saturday Night Live this week. Fantastic job he did. Again, I expected our Truth to come out for Cameo and get his win back. Get his baby back. I couldn't be alone in this. Why else would you wear the title on national TV?
Well, gave exposure to the belt. Had people probably talking. I never saw WWE before. So
no one's going to know what the 24. The logo's not even on it. It just says 24/7.
Oh, people are going to be Google. What the hell is that? What's a 24/7? What is that championship? Is that boxing thing? Is that? Yeah. It looks like a boxing belt. What is that? They're going to Google it and find out. Oh, that's WWE. He's on WWE. Oh, cool. Let me hop on there. That's
so again. Stay tuned to our social medias where you can find and subscribe to our Spanish spinoff. Should be interesting. Any news about your Hollywood's Corner coming up?
Hollywood's Corner. Well, we have my next interview is going to be with Rick Recon. That'll be released not this Tuesday coming up, but the following Tuesday. I'll be airing a clip on the show, on our next show, as a little teaser. And then I have Vicious Vicky that I completed an interview with. And on deck, Putty, believe it or not, on deck is AJ Pan.
Oh, man. Okay. Can't wait for that one.
It's a one-on-one with me and AJ Pan. This is going to be interesting.
I'm surprised he agreed to it because usually you're such a dick and disrespectful to him.
Hey, listen, man, I'm a professional.
Are you? Because when he's on the show, you're not, really.
I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to get to the bottom of all this hatred and everything.
Hey. When's my invite? When's Putty going to be in the show?
The white flag will be raised, at least for me. Are you still there, Putty? I feel like I lost you.
Where's my shot? When am I going to be on the show? Where's my invite?
We do the show together, Putty. I'm not going to interview you.
Yeah, but I just host the show, and people want to know about my personal life. People know about personally. I've never been interviewed before by anybody.
This is your show. I'm not going to interview you on your show. You're the host.
Wow.
It's your
such an asshole. Such a disrespectful asshole. You really.
I know.
Really
I've never been interviewed.
Really? Because every time, hey, what's going on? I get text in the group chat. Hey guys, I just did a interview for this podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about on this podcast. I've been interviewed plenty of times before, but not on this podcast.
I interviewed you when you first came on the show. Asked you like a laundry list of questions to get to know you better. Remember getting to know you? That was segment we do.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, but no one was getting to know me for the last 5 years. Maybe I want some attention.
Yeah, I'll write it down in pencil.
I'm busy that day.
Good. I don't want you on anyway.
Yeah, too late. I already declined.
No, I was never going to.
Yeah, no, you were. It's fine.
I was being polite.
No, you weren't. It's fine.
Yeah, I really was. There's no way in hell you're going to be in the show.
So 5 years. Looking forward to still waiting on that Bella book review from your wife.
Yeah, that's probably not happening.
I talked about numerous times in the show. I like you're a big fan of the Bellas. I've watched Total Bellas. I have the last 2 seasons in full on my DVR. Started watching it. Sucked right in to season 5, I believe, from early 2020. You couldn't give me a heads up that the fucking dog died, asshole.
Oh, dude, the dog died. That was sad.
You couldn't give me a heads up. I was like, holy shit, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't prepared for this. Rest in peace, Winston. A year and a half later.
Daniel Bryan's reaction to that was pretty
shocking, right? Yeah, like, oh my God, this guy's so attached to this dog. And now I get it. He explained it.
You know, I'm looking at Abby, my dog. She's looking a little older lately, man. I'm like thinking, like, my God, if this dog dies, I am going to be devastated.
Yep.
Like, I am not even going to know what I'm going to do with my life.
How old is she?
She's 7. So I feel like she's got more time to go. She acts like a puppy, but she's getting gray and everything. I'm seeing this. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
before I was born, my parents got 2 cats, right? So I grew up with cats as pets. And when they died, I was heartbroken, devastated, because that's the first loss I've ever had. It's like losing your brother and sister.
Right.
So everyone's telling me, oh, Putty, you need to get a pet. Putty, get a dog. Putty, get a cat. Putty, get a pet. Why would I want to set myself up for heartbreak like this? Why would I want to be happy for like 10 years, only to be heartbroken for God knows how long after this dog, my life, passes away? No, thank you.
When you put it like that, I mean, that makes sense. This is actually what my wife and I are talking about. You know, when Abby starts getting a little bit older, I think we're going to get a second dog.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about here? Like,
yeah.
Like, listen, we can't, we're dog people. You know, if we have a dog park or full of dogs, we would. But, you know, if we get a second dog, awesome. Cool, Abby has a friend.
Yeah.
And then at the very least, when Abby passes away, at least maybe that takes like a little bit of like the sadness off, I guess. I don't know.
For you?
I really don't know.
For you?
Maybe.
The other dogs would be fucking heartbroken.
I know, man. I know.
I had 2 cats. When the first one passed away, the second one was heartbroken. That guy died 6 weeks later of a broken heart. So also, don't be selfish, Mark. You got to think about the other dog here, because when your dog passes away, he's going to be heartbroken. Or
we're going to get the other dog, and Abby's going to be all upset. She's going to feel.
No, I don't see that happening.
You know, like cast aside. Oh no, she's like the center of attention. She's got like only dog syndrome for sure.
So if people don't pay her attention or compliment her, she gets upset.
For real.
Oh, like her dad. Wow, that was really good. Thank you so much for me. Now we're just rambling on. So I think we could just.
Oh God, yeah. Well, let's wrap it up before I
fucking. You want to hear some fucking? Can I put somebody on blast real quick?
What?
So my subscription to Match.com ended. Right? Fucking huge waste of money. I highly recommend don't doing it.
I love that you're a Match.com, but go on.
Yeah, because when I canceled it 3 months ago, they said, "Oh, you want 3 months free?" Yeah, I'm not stupid. Okay. Wouldn't you know? In the past 24 hours. When my subscription has ended, I've gotten like 4 likes and messages. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Fuck this.
It's all the work, bro.
Totally the work.
It's all the work.
If anybody wants to slide into my DMs, I'm at Michael J. Putty on the social medias. Please hit me up. I'm desperate.
You're so desperate. If anyone wants to follow me, you could go to my website, yourfavoriteactor.com. Don't go into my DMs. I'm married. And all my social media links are on there, though.
Talking about last week, I burned through season 1 of Friends with Friends from College. Great show. Mm-hmm. Definitely check it out on Netflix if you need a new show to watch.
Dude, I've been really invested to Veep right now.
Yeah,
actually.
Veep's great. Veep's amazing.
But it's funny. Like I'll go from Veep and I'll turn on Real News. I'm like, what? I can't tell the difference. It's like the same shit, pretty much.
It was more blurred a month ago, but yeah, it's a great show. You're in for a wild ride.
It's fun. I dig it. Actually, I'm probably going to watch that right now as soon as we get off.
Oh, I start season 2 of Friends with College as we get off. Mark, it was a bumpy ride to start with the show, but we got through it.
Really bumpy. I know.
We started the show right after Elimination Chamber with some technical difficulties. We're back. Thanks to you guys who joined in on the chat and texts. We appreciate it. Can't wait to do this again. After Fastlane, maybe?
Fastlane? Let's do it up. Fastlane.
All right, so for Mark Schwann, I've been your host at Monk for the past 5 years. Until next time, year 6. Buddy, out.
Hey, baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh, my. And maybe you seem a bit confused. Yeah, baby, but I got you pinned. Ha, 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.